Hola. Fuck. Hi everyone. Thank you for coming. Um, it's gonna be really fun, the workshop today, at least for me. I don't know about you, but we're gonna do 2 exercises. So you're gonna do cocktails today. You're gonna work. The topic of the workshop is coctelería sin etiquetas. We're gonna talk about no gender cocktails. But first, we're gonna start with a simple exercise. So I'm gonna need 2 groups. I don't know if we are part one. Yes, it says I know how to count. So we're gonna do 2 groups of 8. So should I do it, or you gonna just yeah? Okay. So 2 groups, please help. Yeah, one side and the other side. Easy peasy. Perfect. Yes, I know how to count. So double checking. So I'm gonna ask you to think about one recipe with high. Yes, of course. So you're gonna think about one recipe. If I tell you do something for a feminine taste, and then you're gonna do another cocktail with thinking about a male profile. Okay. So A and B. So group A is gonna make the feminine cocktail, let's say, and you're gonna be the other one. Okay? That cool? You wanna check the ingredients? It's really easy. Nothing too.
All right. We need to talk this through. So do we jump into it, and do we go for something fruity and red and sweet and stuff? Or do we try to do something else?
No, but something like, for example, the cosmopolitan, it doesn't have to be
Actually,
masculine or feminine.
that's absolutely
If you
true.
make it right.
That's absolutely true. And it's not sweet.
You cannot do shots. No shots, okay? Doesn't count.
All right, let's go. Let's go work with the team.
Two of them are working on it.
All right, Tim.
So for those that you don't, this is a accordion, paragon abdomen, and we have a palo santo, which is wood that we use in South America for clean the bad spirits.
We need to discuss about this. That's the point.
You can try the ingredients if you want as well. That's one of my favorites. My mother used to burn out in our house. All my house used to smell like this.
What do you expect to see?
Michelle, you don't know that. You don't know. female, like a pocket for so
Yes, ma'am. It's right in here. It's right in here.
So we haven't? Not yet? Okay. It's better for me, I can rest.
There's no room for discussion. It needs to have flowers. We will take this. Pinky way,
I love that. Wait, please. That's beautiful. It's beautiful. Usually
Perfect. Thank you so much. So
You're based in Copenhagen.
we have some.
You are based in Copenhagen.
These two cocktails are really interesting for me because I thought that you would have, like to do something spirit forward, kind of dry martini. But I heard that you say dry martini, right? At the beginning. Nice. So you want to tell me why you did this cocktail?
One reason each.
Okay, my first idea was a cosmopolitan because there's such prejudice concerning a pink cocktail. And cosmopolitan doesn't have to be sweet or anything. It can be sharp and tasty. But a lot of men, when they look at it, they see it's pink, they go it's sharp. And I think that's why cosmopolitan it's a good twist on the theme.
Also, it is a really famous cocktail from a TV show in which a lot of ladies in the city have been drinking it all the time. So it's also yes associated to that. So maybe it's associated to be like a girly drink, so to say.
You just said the same things I wanted to say. Yeah, it's pink and sexy.
Yeah, that's quite loud. Okay. In my opinion, especially the glass of cocktails has a big impact for me for like stereotypical thinking of ways like is a more a drink that's more for men or for women, and like the martini glasses or something like that are more feminine for many people. So I think that's one of the reasons as well.
Yeah, I didn't care what cocktail it was. It needed flowers, so it has flowers.
I just loved it. The idea was brilliant, and I could identify with this cocktail in so many ways because I'm so sour and just
I know you like dry martinis, don't worry. If you think about like a cocktail grade for female and a cocktail grade for men, will you? Okay.
What's the question? Yeah, so I tried to make like kind of a balance, just because gentleman mentioned the glassware type. That's usually like the predominant reason why a specific gender chooses their drinks sometimes. I had in my bar like ladies picking a certain drink, and I would tell them like, hey, I have a very similar drink. It tastes very similar. It's just gonna have different glass and different ice and everything like that. And she's like, no, I want that drink in that glass. I actually don't care what comes in the glass. I just want that glass drink. It's like, okay, sure, whatever, you can have it. So with Tom Collins, I thought it's kind of was like more male-ish style drink. So I tried making that.
No, I agree with the glassware, and I even think I like that. Of course, the flowers. Women like the flower in the drink. I even think with men, some men would even take out the meat straight away. So, but this is the least.
Okay, we didn't have salt, that's why I added the flour, but in general I think that men is not always having strong drinks. I mean, it's different cultures and so on. In many parts of the world, are drinking any, even light drinks.
And that's a really interesting point of view because that's going to be the topic of the conversation today. So it's really interesting that we have feminine cocktails more like mark, and this section, we have a Tom Collins, which is a long drink, highball, refreshing, and we have a margarita. And in this bar, it's really, really marked. It has a flower, it's pink color, it's because the coupette or the glass and everything, right? So I think that this really easy and simple exercise, it's a tendency to all over the world, even that you think that you don't have these kind of situations in bars, you have it. So I live in Spain, and many, many times I heard the expression of, no, this is too feminine for me. And even if it's a dry martini, then most of the people don't like dry martini because it's a perfect excuse for drink gin, just cold gin, right? And it's so spirit forward. But the thing that we're gonna talk about, and I hope that you start to think or to learn how to create cocktails and recipes without thinking about the gender, is this. Because cocktails are not people. So the main goal is to be delicious. They don't have gender. Cocktails are about the mood, it's the weather, it's cultural, it depends of anything. Like you say, culture have a big, huge impact in the palates development. So I think that if we start to think in this way, we're gonna do better cocktails, and we're gonna have like a umbrella to cover most of the taste. Because yes, one thing is 100% sure, most of the people, and it doesn't matter if you're woman, man, or any gender, most of the people, they like something, they are not too strong, not too many people like Negronis or Boulevardiers or dry martinis. So we are like, we have, how do you say, like, we think the same, we are on the same page, that we like all these kind of spirit forward cocktails are for a specific kind of people that I love to call alcoholic, right? So Negronis is a sweet, bitter aftertaste, dry martini is dry and it's really strong, Manhattans, it's so. So I don't know how many of you work in the bar. Do we have, so how many of you, I mean, it happened to me once. I remember I had a straight couple on the bar, and I received the order, and it was a piña colada and a old fashioned. And I came to the couple, just without asking, I put the piña colada to her and the old fashioned to him. And this is something that we have internalized, because we grow up in culture, society have a huge impact. And how do we, even with food, like back in the days, a long time ago, they used to think that the fish was, the perfect food for woman, for female, and the meat is something really heavy, was, perfect food for men. So I think that it's still happening in a lot of bars. I received many feedback from clients, male clients in the bar, saying like, no, this is too, this is a girly cocktail, this is too feminine for me. And if you think this kind of glass, like dry martinis go there, Manhattan go there, like many strong cocktails go there. So we have the poor Cosmopolitan that was vinculate to Sex and the City and Madonna and many female, like famous icons. So that's popularization. That's something that we need to, to change. I think that it's changing, but we need to change, and we need to educate our clients. When someone say like, I want something I want you to make a cocktail for a woman, you have to say like, no, but it depends, right? Because you can drink dry martinis, you can drink, I don't know, pisco sours, you can drink old fashioned, you can, like, it depends on the taste. So we have these results, and this is a research in UK, So you can see, for me this is the most interesting part, that most of the people was like putting gender even to the garnish. That's why I put flowers, because if you see flowers, you think that this is like automatically, you're gonna think like this is a feminine cocktail, you know. And I don't know how many of you had different experience with this topic, and if you want to share it, because I saw so many deliberation in both of the teams. So I would love to hear what you have to say about the creation, or when you create a cocktail, what are your thoughts, or why you hesitate so much when you was talking about the cosmopolitan, the flower, or the dry martini, and the same in this room.
I work in a bar in southern Germany, and it's quite outside from the city center. So a lot of my guests are like a little bit more conservative or older people, which are pretty old school in choosing their drinks and what they like and what they don't like. So it's more of the older generation as well. And I think when I create drinks, or if I want to change the menu, I'm thinking very much in a commercial way for choosing drinks that are fitting to my guests, especially because personally for me it doesn't matter like how the drink looks. It's all about the taste, but my guests do, and so I think for me I have to separate these two topics, because I could do my thing and just do whatever I want in the bar, but I won't be selling as much as I want, and it's not my own bar. I'm only one of the managers, so. That's like a little conflict I have over there, so it's quite complicated in the situation.
Yes, yeah, I want to add, because I don't know if you know this, because we also added this because of the wood and the smoke. And, I think already when people read the menu and they have the keywords like wood and smoke, also attracts more straightforward to men in particular than when you put fruity and floral flavors on the menu. So already when you read the menu without even seeing the cocktail, these words can also already trigger mostly men to have.
I think in Copenhagen, because of the whole woke movement and everything, we hardly have anyone who complains about the color or the glassware. It has really, I think all the young people are thinking very differently today. I mean, in Denmark it's very trendy for all the guys to wear small pearl necklaces, even though they're heterosexual. I mean, it's not even a word we use anymore. So I think the whole woke movement has really changed all this. But if you get a table of men over 45, 50 years old, then it comes back. The color, the shape of the glass, the flavors.
Recently it happened to me that I went to Southeast of Asia, and I did the same talk there, and the owner of the bar who invited me, he told me, can you do 4 cocktails too? Like, focus on woman and 2, and I said, man, what the fuck? The opposite, that we need to, because it's our job as well as bartenders or people in the hospitality to educate the clients, and when you talk to them, the first question that you ask to someone that say like, do whatever you want, I drink everything. They say, yeah, okay, but which kind of flavors you want? Which kind of flavors do you like? Because, it's, for me, I'm from Peru. In Peru, we drink and we take sweet things. When I moved to Buenos Aires, the first time I tried a Negroni, I find it disgusting. It was bitter, it was strong, it was sweet, too sweet. So, if you say that to Italian, it's gonna kill you, probably, right? So, this cocktail we did in Leather Paradise, Barcelona, and it was a kind of a silverfish with let's say avellanas, like like a nuts orgeat, and the garnish was like raspberry, right? So many times we had this cocktail to explain to a male client, say like, no, this is a, like sometimes with words that I don't want to use, but like people is really have this chip in their mind, the cocktails have gender, and even like if you try to educate them, so sometimes it's difficult, because they don't want to understand. So we have the beautiful piña colada. I love it. If you're like 35 degrees in a beach, obviously I will take a piña colada. If you are in London, like below zero, you're gonna have a dry martini or something more, like, because you need to get warm, right? So flavors don't have gender, like it's cultural. Like I say, if you're from Italy, if you're from India, I went to Marrakech a few months ago, and I realized that everything there has more flavor. The ginger, the clove, the cinnamon, everything. I tried all my cocktails. They didn't like my cocktails. They told me, I think that they are too watery. And then I tried one of the cocktails, and I thought, okay, this for me is too strong spiciness from the ginger. For me, it wasn't drinkable, but for them. So you have to understand that the palate is something that you educate as well. So if you take coffee without sugar, you're gonna develop like a bitter, like a bitter palate. So it's society, is cultural, so you have many factors, right? So yes, my favorite part. So when we talk about the creativity in cocktails, we talk about the structures. For many years, I thought that I wasn't creative at all. So I started to learn and to discover the creativity actually is not like something that just a few have. It's like muscle, and you have to train, right? You have to learn. So you have to taste new things, try new things, see different cultures, surround yourself with different people. Like I say, Italians, for example, they grow up drinking this bitter cask soda, which is basically Campari without alcohol. You see a kid drinking this. Obviously, Italians have this palate for bitterness and sweet things. But if you give this to a kid from other part of the world, he's gonna hate it, right? So, more information you have, more big is gonna be your olfactive memory, more ways out at the moment that you're going to create cocktails you're gonna have. And like I say, lucky as we have people asking questions and trying to change this perception of cocktails, and basic things like molecular or mixology, as we know, in the kitchen. So it starts as a simple question of why do we do this, or why it's happened, like with the agar-agar, pectinas, all these things that we use nowadays in the cocktails, it happens a lot. So everything you need to ask right questions, and you need to think about. I grew up working in nightclubs and many places, and thinking like, hearing these commentaries about, like females and males, and I think that most of the time, in most of the places, when you design a menu, you think about in these kind of things, right? But nowadays, right now, I think about the regular clients. I don't do cocktails for bartenders, because most of the bartenders as well, they drink like high ABV, or they drink kind of spirit forward cocktails. So I basically think about the regular clients and the regular palates. And we know that most of the palates are kind of sweet sour taste. Okay, this is my favorite part. So if you see, now we have like a tendency for clarify everything, right? So we have milk punch, if you have a rotababa, you have everything. Like, if I ask you something, which of these cocktails have more ingredients? What would you say? So both of the cocktails have the same ingredients, the same amount of ingredients, right? But this is a milk punch. You have 18 ingredients inside. And these cocktails is basically, everyone love it. Everyone likes this kind of cocktail. This cocktail is from year 2015, I believe. So, you know, I think that most of the bartenders right now don't think about gender when they create cocktails, but customers are. So it's our job to educate our customers and, you know, spread the word some kind. So we do clarifications again, but we don't ask why we do clarification, why we use milk, which pH we need to clarify milk, or do we need lemon to cut the milk? We can use soy milk, we can use like any kind of ingredient that we use, but why? I saw many times as well people clarifying cocktails, just put the milk and go straight to the super bag and clarify the cocktail, just without asking why. And Esther Merino, once a gastronomic anthropologist, she told me once, I actually do clarification with the ants, you know, these ants that are really acid, because she knows how much pH she needs to clarify their cocktail. So if you start to ask questions, you're gonna have better results, and at the end, the cocktail have to be nice. And everyone here, as a professional, can recognize when a cocktail is balanced or not. Because sweet things, everyone is gonna love it, but we all have the capacity to recognize when a cocktail is balanced. Oh well, I don't like Bloody Marys, for example, but I try many Bloody Marys that I find like unbalanced, and you can tell, right? You can tell when a cocktail is not like well made. So this is my favorite book that I will definitely recommend you. For sure you know the rest, but this is in like a specific book. You have like a tons of ingredients matching with, for example, if you look for cranberry, you're gonna have like 17 ingredients, and the pairing, like proper pairing with the, you know, let's say blue cheese or tea or whatever you're gonna find. When you create a cocktail, you're gonna see that it's gonna make your life easier, way easier. All the time when I have to do a cocktail, I think about structure. So I don't think about gender. I think about, you know, I need a highball, something refreshing. I need like a sour. I need something like a punch or easy to make, like a clarified cocktail that is your life, makes your life easier. Even in guest shift, you know, you go to a guest shift, you don't know what the stuff is, you're clumsy, you have to do like speed service, so you have to be fast. So milk punches are quite save our life in guest shift, right? On a high volume bar. So I think that this, for sure, I always recommend this book. If you can check it out, please do. And you know, we all, in all the bars I saw all over the world, that's why I'm really exhausted, because I came from Bangkok 2 days ago and now I'm here. But you see twist of the classic pisco sour, whiskey sour, you see punches, you see fizzes, coolers, you have the families, you know that this structure is not going to fail. So you can start to say, like, for example, let's say sour is a family, right? So the family is the spirit, citric, and sugar. So you can start and play with the base, let's say gin. So, okay, I need the citric, I can replace it for grapefruit, orange, you can do cordial, you can do sherbet, you can do anything. And then the sugar, you can replace it for another flavor. And from that, you start to play with flavors. But you know that this structure, it works. So it's not gonna fail. So then you can check it out in this book, and then you can see which ingredients you have. All right, so last but not least, I think that it's really important to start to think in the way that the cocktails not have gender. Like I said before, we did this workshop as a really easy exercise to realize that this thing still happening all over the world. You have many clients that they think that this glass is feminine, this cocktail is masculine, the flavors, stronger flavors are for male, for women, and I think that it's our job to change that, because the world is diverse. So we have, we want to enjoy a cocktail, a nice cocktail, a balance, and it depends, like I say, of the weather, of your mood, or whatever you feel that you want to drink. Guys, I would love to hear if you have some testimonies. We just ran from a woman in business conversation like 1 hour ago. So I don't know if you have any thoughts. I tried to do it quick because I know that you want to enjoy the fair, but if you have something to add or something to share, because I saw this question at the beginning, so if you want to share, that will be like really meaningful for me, because you can learn.
What's your opinion about espresso martinis? Because they get served into a martini glass, but men order them all the time.
Like I said before, it happened as well with dry martinis, right? So dry martini was created for most of the, like Hemingway, Frank Sinatra, they used to take dry martinis. And it's, like I say, the perfect excuse to drink dry gin and cold. So if you think it's really ambiguous, because you can put a dry martini there, and then you can have a cosmopolitan, but you will say like a dry martini is like a masculine cocktail, and the cosmopolitan is a girly cocktail because it's pink and it has a flower. So espresso martini is a really nice example of like something in between, right? Because it's a coffee with alcohol. So everyone can drink, everyone loves alcoholic coffee, And it was actually created for Kate Moss. And she came to this bar, the bartender in the UK, he created this vodka espresso cocktail in the 80s. It was vodka with the coffee liqueur. And she came into the bar and she said like to the bartender, give me something to fuck me up and then wake me up. So the bartender just adds a shot of espresso from the machine, shake it, and that's how the espresso martini was created. So if you think everyone's want to drink that as a breakfast.
I mean, the difficulty in my part of northern Germany type, the people there are very silent and don't like to speak to anyone or something. How can I transform this kind of knowledge and the possibility to not do like a feminine or a masculine drink, and how do I educate my guests to just drink what they want? So I have the stereotype in my head, or my guests have, and they won't change this until I probably pour the cosmopolitan into a black glass, and they can't see it, and put like a little bit of smoke over there or something. So how do you kind of approach this complication or this problem?
Sometimes it's like a social pressure as well, right? Because you are with a group of friends. We had in Ecuador, one of the guys told us that one of the drinks came with a little flower on top. So sometimes their clients, like the masculine client, they do it like really fast. When the cocktail was on the table, they took it off, and like it was like, okay, nothing's wrong. And sometimes I think there is social pressure, and I don't think as a bartenders we're trying to change, but I don't think that it's bigger than us. So sometimes it's the same. Let's say that someone say to you, "I hate whiskey. I don't like whiskey at all," and then you do a cocktail and you just with you, yeah, me too. So so because it's like a challenge, right? So you do the cocktail with whiskey, and then you give it to them, and then it's like, oh, this is good. What is inside? It's whiskey, and because it's your experience. You have a bad experience with whiskey. The same with me and tequila. I had so many hangovers with tequila. Right now, I don't want to drink. But I think that basically, if you talk to them, because people that sit in the bar want to talk most of the time, right? So, and if you say like, for example, if you're paying and you want to have a cosmopolitan, you should drink a cosmopolitan. It's nice, a perfect cocktail, like you say. It doesn't have to be sweet. Actually, it's not sugar on the cosmopolitan, just the cranberry and the orange liqueur. So I think that yes, basically that.
Yes, I have a question regarding what is our role according to you. Do we have to be hospitable guests and give to the public what they want? Or do we have to educate them? Because, for example, it happened to me, and I'm sure it happened to all of you. I have a guy who comes into the bar and he says, I want that cocktail, but I don't want it in that glass. What do you have to do? I think that as a bartender, my job is just to make him feel happy, and if he wants that drink in a masculine glass, then that's what I have to do. What's your stance on this?
The thing is, the client, he's not always right, or they are not always right, and you have to find a balance between how you say the things as well, because it can take personally sometimes. So for example, for me, the perfect example will be I have a thing with straw. So everyone, when you do a highball, it doesn't matter if it has like crushed ice, they want to put a straw inside. And it makes me so nervous, And it's like, I always say, I really recommend you to drink this cocktail without the straw, because you're gonna feel the texture, because it's like this for one reason, And the straws are for cocktails with crushed ice, because if you think about it, it makes sense, Like it's crushed ice is really difficult to drink like this, so you need a straw. So you can find a way to educate them without being like, unpolite. And if you see that he doesn't want to, at the end is the way it is.
Yeah, about the straws. What I noticed in the bar, that at a certain point, the waiters requested specifically for all the women's straws, because they always ask for them, because they have the lipstick. They don't want to use they want to drink it from the glass. And of course it makes me angry, because I make the cocktail like this. It's supposed to be without a straw. But at a certain point, they were really telling me, yeah, I know these women, they have makeup, and they really all want a straw like that. And so it's a bit in between. Should I tell them, educate them, yeah, it's better to smell the drink like this, or just for their own comfortable feeling, give them a straw?
I saw like people putting straw in these glasses. It doesn't make sense. It's really uncomfortable. But at the end, people, it's really difficult. But you're gonna feel, like a relief, because at least you say, you try it, and you say it, and then if they want, they're gonna understand, and they're gonna give it a chance, and they're gonna see that it's changed. You completely change the flavor of a cocktail if you drink with a straw or without a straw. You completely change. So it's difficult, I know, and sometimes we as bartenders, we deal with many kind of people behind, like, as a customers, and we have so many situations, like funny stories to tell, bittersweet story to tell. But we are in hospitality for one reason, and this is something that you can use and you can try, and maybe you can try it with 10, and one is gonna say, okay, I will do it without straw, and that's enough. That's enough. Yeah. We good? Yes? You wanna do another cocktail? I know. Thank you so much for coming. I'm really happy to be here and to see all these beautiful people around the table. So thank you so much.
Thank you.